monkeys.
Yo, what is good, everybody? It's your boy Golden Falls, Golden What If, whatever you want to call me, and I'm back with a brand new What If, part 1 of What If Deku had a guardian angel Quirk. And real quick, I want to give a shout out to my boy Saint. Make sure to check out the links in the description below. Same thing with the Discord down below. I appreciate all the support. I think when this video comes out, or very close to after this, when this video comes out, I should be at 14,000 subs. So I appreciate that, guys. You guys are insane. 14,000 subs is insane, crazy to even think about on this channel. And yeah, we're just gonna keep on pushing. I love doing these videos, and I haven't stopped loving doing these videos, so I'm enjoying myself. And yeah, I hope you all enjoy, and I'm not gonna waste any more of your time, and let's get right into the what if. Let's get it. In a world where superpowers, other known as quirks, were well known in society, everybody wanted to be a hero. That was the job of the normal person. Everybody wanted to be just that. Schools were even developed into schools that, well, basically homed future heroes, built them up to be, well, ready for hero society. Nobody wanted to be a doctor anymore, a nurse, or anything like that. And well, that went for exactly the same for our protagonist, Izuku Midoriya. Izuku Midoriya watched throughout, well, his younger years, All Might, someone who could save everybody. And he hoped and hoped that he would get a quirk that would allow him to do exactly that. And he would more or less get that chance very soon. At the age of 4, Izuku was going to, well, the grocery store with his mother. He was on her shoulders, and they were just talking about quirks and how Izuku was super excited at the idea of getting his first and very own quirk. "Yes, honey, your quirk will be amazing, I promise." "Thanks, Mom." They're walking to the grocery store when out of nowhere, someone with a knife grabs Inko and pushes Izuku to the ground off her shoulders. Izuku lands on the ground hard and basically is hurt. Inko tries to help her son, but the mugger steals her purse and stabs her multiple times. The mugger looks at Izuku, thinking that the kid is out cold, and runs away. Inko crawls over to her son, asking if he's okay, and he begins crying. He begins crying and seeing all the cuts and wounds on his mother, and his mother tells him to be strong and to look at her, and that everything will be okay. Izuku continues to cry, and as this occurs, he begins to glow. He begins to glow brighter and brighter, and he grabs his mom's face. A halo, well, basically arrives over his head, and tiny wings begin to sprout on his back, and his mother begins to get healed. The scratches and all the stab wounds that were there were no longer present. They healed instantly. Izuku's halo then poofed into thin air, it seemed, and his wings went back into his body, and the little child passed out. His mother, Inko Midoriya, sat there in complete awe. Her son just saved her life. Not only that, but it's as if he's some guardian angel. She picks up her son and brings him back home. And when he wakes up, well, he doesn't really remember much. He just remembers her being hurt, but not how she got hurt or anything like that. "Mom, are you sure you're okay?" He begins looking around his mother, and Inko smiles and picks him up. "Yeah, I'm okay. All because of you, Izuku. You must have an amazing quirk. You were able to heal me." "Really? I could heal you?" Izuku then asks and pleads to his mother if they could please go see what his quirk is. So a couple days pass, and that's exactly what they do. They go to the doctors, and the doctor begins analyzing Izuku's quirk. Let's see. Wow, You are correct. It seems that Izuku has some type of healing quirk, but there's not much information on it, but I can deem it as, I guess, what you called it. It's like he's some guardian angel. He might be able to do even more than just heal, though. I'm not quite sure. But I will tell you, he will be one amazing hero. Not sure what type of hero, but definitely amazing one. You hear that, Mom? I'm gonna be an amazing hero. I hear that, honey. And I already knew you were going to be. They both head back home, and after some time, he heads back to school. And well, his best friend, Kachan, other known as Katsuki Bakugo, is waiting. He greets him and shows Izuku his quirk, and Izuku tells Bakugo what his quirk is as well. Yeah, Kachan, my quirk is like some guardian angel. I can like heal people. Whoa, that's pretty cool. That's awesome. And a bunch of people from behind Bakugo hear this and say that he's just some glorified nurse, and that's kind of lame. Bakugo turns around and begins flashing his explosions. What did you just say? They all get scared and run away. Izuku kind of laughs and pats Bakugo on the shoulder. Don't worry about them. I don't mind. Bakugo kind of smirks and pats Izuku's back. Don't worry, when I'm around, nobody's gonna make fun of you. And well, they go throughout their childhood more or less as best friends. It's kind of like they're, in a way, like perfect partners. They have one who has crazy output with explosions, and another that has the ability to heal, strengthen, and anything that, well, Izuku eventually learns. A lot of time passes, and, well, life goes pretty normal for them, eventually leading to their last day of middle school, in which they're just waiting for their teacher to announce what he's going to be doing. He basically begins saying that he's going to hand out all these sheets, but he decided against it because he knows all of them want to go the hero route. He throws the papers in the sky and everyone begins celebrating. I mean, besides Izuku and Bakugo. Bakugo stands up and says that he's going to be the best hero and that he's going to be the next All Might, the #1 hero, and be the richest hero to ever exist. Izuku kind of laughs at this and Bakugo sits back down. Bakugo, of course, still has that attitude to him that will want to be the best and thinking he is the best. The teacher then tells them all to settle down and begins explaining that, well, Bakugo and Izuku are actually trying for UA. And they begin talking about how Bakugo, it would make sense, but Izuku, he can't even hurt anything. He won't be able to do any practical exam or anything like that. The teacher butts in though, saying that Izuku is very smart and a written test would be very easy for him, and that he's sure that he'll be able to find a way to get around his, well, physical incapabilities. Izuku nods and smiles, saying that he will do his best. Well, the class then finishes up, and the teacher wishes all of them the best of luck. Izuku is then talking to Bakugo as they walk out, and well, they both walk underneath, well, a bridge. As they're walking through though, Izuku begins hearing something. He quickly grabs Bakugo and small wings basically guide out of his back, and he jumps away at really pretty quick speeds. Bakugo asks what's happening, and he looks to see that in the sewer something busts out of a manhole cover. Oh, perfect. 2 for the price of 1. I need one of your bodies. Izuku says that he heard that. Well, more like sensed it. Bakugo says to stay behind him and to be safe and that he'll handle this. Bakugo charges forward, blasting the sludge villain, but nothing works. Izuku tells him to stop and that he needs to get away because if he gets grabbed, it might be over. Bakugo hears this, blasting backwards. The sludge villain though reaches out his sludge, grabbing Bakugo's leg. Izuku quickly flies toward Bakugo, blasting the sludge villain with something. What are you doing, you damn nerd? What the hell? The sludge villain then turned back into a human. Izuku is shocked as well. Whoa, I didn't think I could do that. The sludge villain asks how he did that, and that he hasn't seen his own body for forever. And he doesn't know what to do. All Might then comes busting out of the sewer, and he begins asking where that sludge villain went. Izuku and Bakugo, shocked of course, but points at the man. The man begins saying that it's not him, but All Might quickly knocks him out and thanks them both. I have a question though. How were you able to do that? Bakugo begins saying that it was all Izuku. That somehow, with his power, he was able to, well, revert the sludge villain in a way? Yeah, I'm not so sure. Wait, All Might's standing in front of us. Bakugo and Izuku look at each other, and they both ask for an autograph. All Might kind of laughs, does so, and then asks them one more time how he did that. Oh, I'm sorry, I got a little excited. I think it might have something to do with my quirk. I can heal people more or less. People call me some guardian angel of some sorts, I guess. That's kind of my quirk. But maybe that was some sort of, well, quirk disease, something that overrid his body. So when I cured it, he went back into his human form. All Might is completely blown away by this. This kid, he's able to heal people. He even reverted this man from a sludge-like substance back to a human-like body. This is insane. It's like he can revive people from the dead. All Might begins thinking that this kid, he might be able to heal his injury. For now though, All Might keeps that to himself because he doesn't want everybody knowing, well, at least not right now, not before he knows for sure that this kid can do it. He then proceeds to ask them a couple more questions. So, do you both plan on going to UA? Bakugo says heck yes, and that both of them are going 100%, and that they're gonna go to the entrance exam. But Izuku kind of scratches the back of his head. Yeah, I'm gonna go, but I'm not so sure if I can pass the practical. I heard that it's a bunch of robots, and well, my quirk isn't very good for fighting. All Might then says that he quite disagrees. Obviously what he saw right here was a great show of fighting, and maybe he'll have to speak with UA about fixing the practical very soon. But he's sure that if he tries his hardest that he can get in. Just train with all your might. All Might smiles and tells them that he's going to be, well, waiting for them, and that he's a teacher at UA. They both get excited and look at each other, but as they do this, All Might jumps off and waves them goodbye. They both begin kind of fanboying, and Izuku kind of laughs at this because Bakugo normally has that tough attitude, and Bakugo tells him just to shut up. Well, with that in mind though, they realize that what they need to do, and that is train. Izuku and Bakugo decide to train together. Bakugo has his limits with, well, his powers and, well, his quirk, and, well, Izuku does as well. Bakugo feels the stress on his hands when fighting, especially using his explosions, and Izuku, in terms of healing, has his limits. He can only heal so much, and even that one sludge villain attack tired him out. So they both started training their stamina. Every time Bakugo was hurt or, well, injured, Izuku would heal him, and that would help him as well. But they would continue training their stamina by running, doing simple activities in terms of exercises and stuff like that. Of course, they were limited in terms of their quirk usage because, well, they don't have a license and they need to be supervised. But they did their best, and they trained for those 10 months the best they possibly could. Even Izuku was able to get more of a grasp on his flying, in which he actually is able to grow his wings a little bit bigger. And, well, that halo above his head, it doesn't drain him as much. He realizes that his healing output is even more when he has the halo above his head. It's kind of like a full angel form of some sorts. So, after all that time passes, Izuku and Bakugo head to UA for the UA entrance exam. When they arrive, well, it's pretty normal. They listen to President Mike talk about what's going to happen and what's going to happen for the, well, the entrance exam. Talking about, well, the practical, but also talking about the written exam. The written exam, though, was very easy. Izuku is super smart, and so is Bakugo by all means, so they passed that with flying colors. But, like Izuku said in the first place, well, the practical is what the problem was. He's not sure if he's going to be able to defeat any robots. He's fast, yes, but can he really help out? Well, that's what we're gonna find out. Izuku waits at a gate, and unfortunately Bakugo isn't able to be with him. So he waits, and when the gates swing open, he darts out. He begins and charges at a 1-point robot, punching it in the face, but unfortunately he can't really hurt it. He sweeps its legs and eventually gets it to the ground, destroying it, but it took him so long to do just that. It's not going to be efficient for him to, well, destroy robots. But he begins thinking back to what All Might said about the practical exam, and him talking to them about maybe changing it for future years. Wait, maybe there's a special part of the exam. I'll treat this like a hero thing, like I'm on a mission, and anybody that's hurt, I'll heal them. Izuku gets this idea, and he begins flying around. Anybody that's stamina is drained or tired, he'd run over and heal them by basically just touching them on the shoulder, and they'd feel rejuvenated. And they thank him so much, and they run off, destroying more robots. Izuku then realizes that this might be his way of getting into UA. Maybe he can impress, well, the teachers by doing this. So he flies around and does just that. He begins healing a good amount of people. Luckily, nobody's severely injured, so he's not, well, pushed to the limit too far, and he still is able to maintain stamina, especially because all that training. And he actually thanks that training to be able to fly around a lot quicker and a lot more. So he's able to get to a lot of people. Probably 15 to 20 more people were able to consistently fight robots, eventually leading to all the robots being destroyed. And Izuku thinks to himself that even if he can't get in, at least he helped others, well, potentially get in. Well, as he says this, well, to himself, the ground begins to shake. A giant robot begins to emerge from the buildings, and Izuku stares at it. Whoa. I couldn't even destroy a 3-point robot. How the hell am I supposed to do that? Izuku stares at it, but as he does, he hears someone scream. It's a girl. It's someone under rubble. Izuku flies over, pushing the rubble off, and she says to watch out as the robot begins to basically put the robot's foot on top of them. Izuku grabs her and flies off, barely missing the robot's foot. Izuku basically slides out of the way and stumbles as, well, he barely made it out, and his wings are basically giving out on him. He puts the girl down and asks if she's okay. Yeah, I'm fine. Izuku heals her, and the broken foot that she basically just had more or less is gone. It's a little tweaked and hurt, but it's walkable now. She stands up and begins pulling Izuku away, as well Izuku is kind of out of it. He's really exhausted now by healing that big of an injury, so she activates her quirk and floats him away. And, well, the sirens blare, and the practical is over. She thanks him so much for the help, and he kind of smiles and laughs. I mean, I kind of ran out of stamina, so I couldn't get you out completely. I'm sorry about that. She says that it's fine, and that if it wasn't for him, she would have been squashed by the giant robot. Yeah, no problem. Sorry, I'm a little tired. He stands up as she deactivates her quirk, and he just says that he's happy that she's safe. His wings go back into his body, and the halo that he had before while healing her disappears. Whoa, your quirk is pretty amazing. Thanks, yours too. Izuku is about to leave, but Recovery Girl actually stops him. She tells him that he has great potential, and basically gives him a little nod, saying that she will see him at UA. He's confused by this, thinking how could she have so much influence, and she pats him on the shoulder, saying that she'll make sure that he gets the points that he needs and gets the recognition he deserves, especially for all of the help he did around here, making her job tens of times easier by healing everybody else. Well, thank you so much, I appreciate it. Izuku leaves and meets up with Bakugo, and Bakugo says that he feels like he'd passed for sure, and asks how Izuku did. Well, here's the thing, I kind of couldn't even break one of the 3-point robots. Oh no, so you think you failed? Actually no, I decided to do something different. Instead of trying to destroy the robots, I healed the people fighting them. Bakugo's eyes grow wide, and he's pretty shocked that Izuku came up with this on the fly, and he says that was a pretty good idea, and there's a good chance he was right about that. So they both then head off, and well, they head home and wait for, well, the letter in the mail. Eventually, the letter comes, and both Izuku and Bakugo get it at the same time, and Izuku heads over to Bakugo's house, and they begin opening the letter. As they do, it's a hologram of All Might himself. All Might stands there tall and begins explaining to them.
Katsuki Bakugo, you did amazing, young lad. You are the second place in the practical and, well, the first in the written, actually making you tied with first place overall for the entrance exam.
Tied? Who the hell got first? With me. Izuku opens his, and the hologram is All Might as well. All Might begins saying that Izuku tied with Bakugo.
Here's how you tied, young lad. Actually, there is a hero portion of the exam. Robots are one thing, and maybe you've only got about 5 robot points, but you have a whopping 130 hero points. Make you tied with your childhood friend. It's good to see you both on top, and I'm proud of you both, especially after seeing what you've done that day. And well, I'll see you in UA.
Izuku and Bakugo look at each other, shocked. Izuku got first with Bakugo. This was like crazy. Bakugo pats him on the shoulder, saying that he's proud of him and that they're gonna be the best duo heroes ever. Number 1 and number 2. A couple of days pass, and they finally go to UA for the first day of Hero School. When they arrive, they see a bunch of other students, and well, Bakugo throws his feet up on the desk, and this boy with blue hair begins arguing with him. Izuku even tells him that it's not good to argue with Bakugo, that he's not going to get anywhere with it. They both kind of laugh, and Bakugo says that putting his feet on the desk is not that big of a deal. The rest of the class walks in, including the girl that Izuku saved. She immediately runs over to him and thanks him profusely for all the help. I told you it's just fine, and you're welcome. She begins saying that her name is Ochako Uraraka, and he introduces himself as Izuku Midoriya. She sits down, and well, as she does so, Aizawa walks in, telling all of them to be quiet.
Okay, listen up. My name is Shota Aizawa, your, well, teacher for the next 3 years. For one, do not get on my bad side. I will expel you. I do not care. Secondly, everybody go outside. We have a test.
Everyone is confused. Why aren't we going to orientation? And he tells them all to hurry up and get up, and that orientation does not matter in a hero school, and that he has the power to do whatever he wants. Immediately, they all head to basically ground gamma. When they arrive, there's a ball waiting for them, and he tells them that this is the first test, to throw this ball as far as possible.
Bakugo, you're up first. Go ahead.
Bakugo walks up, grabbing the ball, and launches it, and it goes flying.
900 meters, not bad at all.
He then calls up Izuku, and Izuku walks up as well, grabbing the ball, and he throws it, and using his wings, he pushes it slightly farther.
150 meters, not bad, kid.
All the class begins saying that was kind of a weak throw, 150 meters, and Aizawa looks at them and activates his quirk.
Oh really? How about this then? Did you know that Bakugo here got first in the entrance exam?
They're all shocked, but not really. They expected that, especially after that throw.
Now, did you know someone actually tied with him?
What? Who would have tied with him? He's a monster.
Yeah, it was this kid.
They look at him, and Ochako Uraraka smiles and even says that she can vouch for that. He was going around saving and healing everybody.
See, at least she understands. There's more to being a hero than raw power, and this kid got it down. He decided instead of trying to defeat robots, he flew around helping others defeat them. Trust me, that was just as effective. Actually, go sit down, kid. You're good for today.
Wait, really? Are you sure? I don't mind doing any of this.
I know, but go sit down. Now look at your partner, everybody. Whoever is right next to you, you're competing against them. How about that? How about whoever loses out of the pair of you two will get expelled? I'll make it easier for me. Get some real heroes here.
They are all shocked, and Aizawa smirks.
Now let's begin.
That is a wrap. That's over, boys, for part 1 of What If Deku Had a Guardian Angel Quirk. If you guys enjoyed, make sure to smash that like button, the sub button, comment down below, all that good stuff. Honestly, I'm enjoying this so far. While I was writing this, I've had so much fun writing this. It's very different than most, well, obviously Deku What Ifs I do. And frankly, I talk about all the time that I really like my support course Dekus or my minor Dekus where he's not necessarily part of the hero course. I know in this he is part of the hero course, but his powers aren't necessarily raw strength. Normally a lot of my Dekus are, and this isn't. So yeah, I really am enjoying this. I hope you did as well. And I hope all y'all have an amazing day. Later.